What up, people? What up? We back, man. We back in full effect. It's time for that end of day report with yours truly, Dex the Algo Capitalist, aka the Vulcan, coming to you live from PulseWaveTrading.com, home of the world famous price trigger reports. Put the power of the algos in your corner. Beat the central banks at their own game, player. This is the place where the player get to play. All right, come break bread with us. PulseWaveTrading.com. You know what it is. You know what to do. All right, so what is going on? What it look like, everybody? I tell you, it is never a dull moment up in here. All right, so the carnage continues. And we are diving deeper into the wormhole, and we are discovering that there is craziness going on in our world. There's craziness going on in the global markets. Just to give you an idea of what's going on, in the extended hours trading, do you know what the bid-ask spread is on one of the inverse crude oil ETFs? You got a bid ask of $261 over $330. You got a $330 ask and a $261 bid. Good grief. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. However, poor little USO is still chugging along. All right. We got down to $2.31 today, folks. USO, $2.31. Unbelievable. All right, so here's what's going on. Twice they had to halt trading today. Twice, not once, but twice on the USO crude oil ETF. The USO ETF has been having a dang of a time with these contract rollover situations, and it is at risk of full redemption. That's right. USO is now facing the possibility that they might have to shut down. What that means is if you are holding shares, when they do that, they're going to give you whatever the assumed price is on the last day of trading. And if you're lucky, you'll get 50 cents on 50% of that if you're lucky. So you basically just going to end up losing all your money. All right. So that's what they're facing right now. All right. Let me give you an idea of how bad the global crude oil situation is looking. All right. So at some point during the trading day today, an alert pops up on the screen. Now, if you're like me and you trade with the Thinkorswim TD Ameritrade platform, you get these alerts that will pop up and say, yo, basically there's something you need to know. Yo, stop what you're doing. Come over here. Yo. And so this one was like, yo, effective immediately. Not effective now, but effective right now. You will no longer be able to trade in the front month crude oil futures contract. Doesn't matter if you're trading the mini or doesn't matter if you're trading the big boy. Doesn't matter if you're trading /CL or /QM. If you think you trading that June front month contract, you are mistaken. We are experiencing the possibility of catastrophic loss and catastrophic failure of the crude oil market. The crude oil market is on the ropes and looking to implode. Now, they will let you trade July, August, All right. You can trade all those. That's fine. But if you're thinking you're going to trade June, nah. Now, you may say, why? What in the world? Okay, let me explain it to you. Here's what's happening. See, with a futures contract, we're talking mad leverage. On average, it's 50 to 1. In some cases, it can be a lot more than that. 90 to 100 to 1, 200 to 1, whatever. So, technically speaking, whenever you're trading like forex or commodity futures contracts, you have the risk of what is called catastrophic loss or unlimited loss. Yeah, so let's say if the US dollar went to zero, you would think, okay, well, the most I can lose is if it goes to zero. No, you would experience unlimited loss because it's a leveraged instrument. Okay, we're talking unlimited loss. And now that they're introducing negative pricing, that is definitely catastrophic loss, unlimited loss. So it's not like if you buy a share of Walmart at $25 a share and it goes to zero, the most you can lose is $25. That's it. But because of the built-in leverage with forex and commodity futures, your loss is not just if it goes from 25 to zero. No, your loss would be considered unlimited at that point because it's mad leverage. All right, mad leverage. And if you can now go and trade at a zero price or a negative price, woo! I think the negative interest rates opened up a can of worms that the world was not ready to have open, because now you're allowing that to happen across the board. You're introducing negative pricing. Could this be a precursor? Could this be an exercise to prepare the people for the global blockchain? Because technically speaking, we're talking about 9 zeros to the right when we're talking about crypto. All right. You got mad zeros on the right hand side. All right. And we're talking an average of 9 to 10 zeros when we're talking about Bitcoin alone. All right. So that's a lot of zeros. Technically speaking, that is kind of like a negative price, if you will, because now you're trading sub-zero. So are we getting prepared now for life on the blockchain? Is this negative interest rate an exercise in preparing the minds of the people for negative pricing? Think about that for a minute. First, we get introduced to negative interest rates. Then we get introduced now for the first time ever, negative futures contracts. Now, equities have already done it. They've been trading in negative. Did you know that? A lot of the penny stocks and even in the foreign stocks, a lot of them they trade less than a penny. They trade several zeros to the right hand side as well. I remember when my brother had me look at this one company, some pyramid scheme type company. You know those pyramid schemes where the people at the top make all the money, and you have to sell and you have to have people a downline from you. So you get 10 people, then they get 10 people. Well, anyway, it was one of them companies, and I looked at it, and come to find out it was some German company, and it was a pink sheet. And this thing, that was my first time I ever seen an equity price like that, where it was like 5 or 6 zeros to the right. I'm like, man, this thing is like a 1/100th of a penny. This is crazy, right? So I'm like, nah, I ain't touching that with a 10-foot pole. All right. See, the one thing y'all have to remember too, and I hope you learn this, things are usually priced correctly. Let me explain what that means. Using the equity example, a penny stock is a penny stock for a reason. It would be different if all stocks started off as penny stocks. and then they just grew to what they are today. That is not true. If you look at the average IPO, it usually ranges between 20 and 30 bucks. All right. That's not zero. That's not a penny. All right. So stocks are priced the way they are usually for a reason. So if there's a penny stock, it's usually priced at a penny for a good reason. Any share of equity trading less than $1 is priced that way for a reason. And for the most part, you do well to run away. Technically speaking, there was an old school rule that goes back to the 80s, probably even longer than that, was, you would avoid any stock that was trading less than $5. Because if that's the case, the rule of thumb was if it's trading less than $5, it's on its way to zero. All right. So that was the rule. And then that kind of changed. And it was like, okay, because then the exchanges like the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange, they had their rules. As long as your stock was trading above $1 and didn't drop below $1, you were fine. But once you drop below $1 for a certain amount of time, then you're delisted and you got to go to the pink sheets. All right. So that's kind of how that goes. Now back to this oil thing. So like we talked about last night, right? Crude oil is a commodity. All right. It is a commodity with intrinsic value. It is a scarce resource that has alternative uses. All right. So theoretically speaking, it should never be priced as zero because you're always going to need that oil, folks. All right. The oil is not going anywhere. We cannot get off 100% off of oil. It is impossible. Everything that we see in our physical universe revolves around oil. Okay? Oil is everything. You need oil for everything. All right? We are an energy dependent world. We're dependent on energy. Oil is energy. And it has alternative uses. Everything that you can put your physical hands on and touch more than likely has its origins based on petrol. All right? It's just what it is. Okay? It's just what it is. So we know it's not going to stay at these prices for long. I've been warning for quite some time now that you should enjoy these low prices because it is not going to ever be this low again in our lifetime. As a matter of fact, I've been telling people they need to start preparing themselves for life above $100 a barrel. I don't think crude oil will ever drop below $100 a barrel again. I do not have all the answers as far as what is going to be the catalyst to create that type of a circumstance. I can guesstimate that it would have something to do with the fact that we're about 5 seconds away from World War III, and I believe that it will probably get kicked off in Syria. All right, those are my opinions, and I'm entitled to them. All right, I like how what was it, Rossetti? Recent was it Rossetti? Yes. He was like, so it comes a time, in a groundhog's life, we have to stick to his opinions, even though they're wrong. You just got to stick to. That was one of my favorite things I laugh about all the time. That was in the video game Animal Crossing. So that's how I'm Rossetti right now. All right, I really believe that all of the compasses are pointing towards Syria. Unfortunately, all right. So this is where we are. We're still trading sideways in multiple markets. The bias, the money flows have been negative. Negative money flows meaning downward bias, still within a consolidated congestion phase in multiple markets with a bearish bias. So we're looking at slightly lower prices within the consolidation pattern. So this is with all markets right now. So it's safe to say that I don't see any rallies anywhere really holding right now. All right. I just see that. Oh yeah, wifey's in the house, man. You better believe that. I can't speak to nobody else, but I can't see life without wifey. All right. One of the first things I did when I became an adult was I was like, I gotta find my wife. All right. That's the first thing in a young man's life that he do once he becomes of age and leaves home. First thing he doing is he looking for him a wife. At least a smart man is anyway. So boom, bam, there you go with that one. So anyway, I believe that the times that we're seeing right now within this consolidation phase, going back to these market pricings, and we're seeing it across the board, of course, it's a tight holding pattern. And I think right now the tight holding patterns is pretty much a reflection of just a global slowdown in economic growth. Nothing is happening. We're looking at a global, like, stopping of the clock, like the gears stopped turning once the COVID-19 took over. Economy shut down worldwide. So there's no price discovery really because everything is like come to a halt. Now, the president said that, we're reopening up certain states are reopening up and blah, blah, blah. But in the same breath, he just told you he's shutting down the borders. For the first time in my lifetime, we're shutting down borders. Now, he said for 90 days, but you're still shutting them down. No immigration whatsoever. That's crazy, man. For real? All right, so I don't know why they're still playing these mind games, these word games. They say one thing and then they do another. Someone showed me something in the trading room earlier today too. Now this right, I mean, when is it gonna stop, guys? Come on now. That's what I'm saying. They say one thing because they wanna, they figure that they programmed you to a certain point where they can say certain catchphrases that will trigger you in a certain pattern. Not trigger you to make you, to panic or anything like that, but to get you in line. So, case in point, the other day I shared with you how someone had showed me those signs that were posted, the messages posted on Wawa and at Sam's Club. Well, someone also uh, said that they saw it's at a few grocery stores in their area that before they were letting people come in and shop, they were physically taking people's temperature. Talking about a violation of your privacy and personal space. What in the taking your temperature so you can go and buy groceries? First of all, there's like 10 things wrong with that right off the bat. Okay, so first of all, as a store, as a business, you're in business to make money. You only make money when you have customers. If you are making it difficult or nearly impossible for customers to get in contact with you or to even have have access to what you're offering, you lose said customers, right? What would happen if before you could do anything, before you could partake of anything, they said, you know what? Okay, so welcome to to ABC Car Dealership. I understand you're here. You're in the market for a new car. Okay, well, I would love to help you with that. My name is Tom. Before we can move forward, as you know, as it is reasonable and customary in these uncertain times we're living in, I have to give you a prostate exam. Okay, so if you would just walk this way with me, please. If you would just grab your ankles real quick for me, and then he puts a glove on, and then he's giving you a prostate exam. All right, and same thing for you ladies. Okay, ma'am. All right, Pam, I'm glad you're here. I see you're in the market for a new car. Okay, if you just step right this way here. This is Kimberly. Kimberly's going to go and she's going to give you a pap smear real quick before you can purchase this car. As you know, it is the law. You have to get a pap smear before you buy this car. Would the people really put up with that? Huh? You got to get a pap smear before you can go into the grocery store and get a loaf of bread? Men have to get prostate exams before they can go to the car dealership and buy a car? Really? Come on, man. That's what we are. We're totally violating human rights. We've gotten to the point where we are willing to trade our human rights and dignity for mythological security. The reason why I call it a mythological security, because it's not real security. All right? It's not security. It's lunacy. But you're willing to trade that away because they're telling you, if you do this in exchange, we're going to make sure that you're protected. Protected from what? The only thing you need protection from is not the coronavirus. The thing you need protection from is your out of control, too big government. Your government is outrageously out of control. It is ginormous. It is suffering from the disease of elephantitis. It has become gargantuan. It is outgrowing its shirt. The shirt is too tight. It doesn't fit. All right. The belly button of Uncle Sam is showing and he looks disgusting. His clothes are too tight and they're not fitting him. Uncle Sam, you look disgusting. You're getting too big. You're morbidly obese and you look a mess. What's wrong with you, Uncle Sam? Every time I see you, you're drunk. You're drunk with power. You are bugging. We can't even invite you to the family reunions anymore, Sam. What's wrong with you, Sam? Put down the bottle, Sam. Sam, I am green eggs and ham. What in the world is going on? And the people aren't saying anything. Uncle Sam is dancing on the picnic table, whipping out his Johnson in front of the kids and the women, and no one is saying anything. They're letting the uncle embarrass and humiliate the entire family. That's what's happening right now. And then he got the nerve to tell the kids, come sit on my lap so I can read you a bedtime story. What are you going to do with Uncle Sam? He needs to be committed. But that's what we're doing. We're letting Uncle Sam do whatever he wants to do. He's bugging. Who said he was an authority? He's not an authority. The government is supposed to be of the people, by the people, for the people. Why are we allowing unelected officials to tell us what to do? Why? Why are you allowing them to probe us before we go into the store? I'll tell you why. The reason why these Fortune 500 companies don't fear you is because the government owns them and has promised to backstop them for all of their losses in exchange for total control. That's why. That's why. I'll tell you what's going to happen. If ABC grocery store decides, you know what, this is enough. This is enough. I'm not going to do it. As a matter of fact, we're not going to require anyone to wear a mask. We're not doing any of that foolishness, and we're going to stay stocked on our shelves and everything. You know what happened? The government will come in and shut them down, and they'll probably use one of their little lackey organizations to do it. So they'll bring in somebody maybe from the Food and Drug Administration, and you laugh, but you forget. You forgetting. You need to go back and read your history, because in the year of 2010, if you recall, the FDA ordered like 1 million rounds of armor-piercing rounds. Oh, you forgot about that. You think I'm making this up. You've forgotten. All right, you have forgotten. Yes, the FDA ordered armor-piercing rounds of ammunition. Have you forgotten? And remember, everybody was like, I wonder what that's for. Why does the FDA need ammunition? This is why. So that if you get out of line, if you're one of those corporations that say, I will not become nationalized, I will not allow the president to come and control me or nobody else, they will show up in force. You'd be like, since when did the FDA get a SWAT team? They got it under Obama. All right? Like the song say, where'd she get that from? She get it from her mama. Where'd they get them guns from? They got it from Obama. All right? Obama blessed all of the Fortune 500 companies with protection. All right? That's what they do. That's what we do. We protect you. Protect us from what? We protect you from everything. That's why we show up at your crib with M16s and automatic weapons and snatch you out of your home while you eating breakfast in your boxers. That's what we do. Why are you doing this? It's for your own protection. No. Now get in the van. That's what they do. That's the protection that they're promising you. They scare you to death with all types of threats, whether they be real or perceived, and then they show up with a show of force and military prowess and say, this is how we're going to protect you from all the enemies. All right? And if you really sit down and deprogram yourself, give yourself a day or two to deprogram from all the years of yourself being propagandized, and then you say, okay, let me take inventory of all the boogeymen that they told me about, and let me see what this is. I guarantee you, if you open up your notebook of fear, every U.S. citizen gets a notebook of fear. If you're an American citizen, you have a notebook called Fear that they issue it to you, okay, as soon as you are born into this country. And it has a list of all the boogeymen, right? You have Osama bin Laden in there. You got white people in there, because remember they told you that white people that were coming back from the military was your enemy. And under the category of white people, you got anybody who says that they are, libertarian, anyone who says that they are a free man, okay? Anyone who follows Alex Jones, or they follow Bill Cooper and ever read his book Behold a Pale Horse. Anyone who follows those ideologies fall under the category of white man threat. So that's like page 1 of your fear book. And then when you flip over to page 2 of your fear manual, it's going to show you black people. Anyone with dark skin who follows the teachings of Malcolm X, or even follows the teachings of Martin Luther King. You can't win, by the way, because they said if you follow the teachings of Malcolm X, then you're violent. If you follow the teachings of Martin Luther King, you're non-violent, but you're even more of a threat because of your ideas. Your ideas are dangerous. So if you follow that, or you believe in the ideologies of the Black Panther Party or the Nation of Islam, okay, any one of those things, or if you listen to gangster rap, you are a threat. And then you turn over to page 3, and it says, okay, here is another threat. If you are a female, if you see a female who is a full-time mother, who doesn't work outside the home, who decides that she's going to be a full-time mom and a full-time wife and take care of her family, she is considered backwards. She's considered someone who actually fell off of the Mayflower backwards, and her bonnet was too tight. So she's a threat, okay? Then if you turn over to page 4, all right, you're going to see, now this page 4 is when it really gets scary, you guys. Page 4 is anyone of Arab descent. Pretty much anyone who follows the line of Ishmael, all right, son of Abraham. You should be afraid of them because they're going to blow you up. They're going to attach dynamite to themselves. They're going to run into your shopping mall and blow it up. All right, so you should be afraid of them. All right. You can identify these people because they're women, wear burqas. Okay. If you see that, run. All right. But now they say the worst enemies for last. Page 5 is the scariest page of all because at the top of the page it says biological attacks, terrorist attacks. All right. And you see a picture of the skull and the crossbones. And then beneath that, you see fire and flames. And you see buildings falling because they have to remind you of 9/11 and how they said that someone from the line of Ishmael did it. Right. But then below that is the most scariest of all things you need to be afraid of. It's a picture of Big Bird, Cookie Monster, and Tickle Me Elmo. These monsters are notorious. They've been scaring children for decades, and no one seems to be able to do anything about it. And that's what they tell you. You should be afraid of that. And then, of course, on the last page of the fear book is a picture of your own shadow, which is the most frightening thing of all. You need to be scared of your own shadow. That's where we are in the USA. We are the most propagandized nation on the planet. All right. If we ever went on Fear Factor, we would lose. We would get past the first obstacle because fear is a factor for you. You got fear from birth. All right. Everyone is a villain in the USA, regardless of your heritage or nationality. You are an enemy. You're an enemy of the state. If you have a free thinking mind, you are an enemy of the state. We don't care who you are, what you look like. And that's the truth. I don't care if you got an American flag hanging up, flying on your porch at your house. It don't matter. Don't matter if you fought in every war that Uncle Sam told you to go fight in. It don't matter. Don't matter if you lost an eye or a limb. When you come back home, you will be treated like Uncle Sam don't know you. He gonna say, you ain't my family, you ain't my folk, you ain't my peoples. But yo, I just got my head blown off for you. I was over there in Iraq, I was over there in Afghanistan, I was over there in Korea, I was over there in Vietnam. And I fought for you. And when you come back home, he gonna say, I don't know you. I tell you the truth. I don't know you. I've never known you. I don't know you. Get away from me. That's how they treat their vets when they come over here. They go on page 3 of the fear book. Why would you be afraid of a vet who got wounded, who went over there and fought for his country? Well, you'd be afraid of him because by the time he comes back, he realizes that he got sold a bill of goods. He was duped and dissed and lied to. He realized that he wasn't going over there to fight for American freedom. They're just afraid of our freedom. No, he went over there to do the bidding of the central banks. Every war is a banker's war, and the soldier realized it when he got back over here. That's why they treat him like crap and make it impossible for them to get the services and things of that nature that they deserve. Every veteran who goes overseas to fight for his so-called country, when he comes back, he or she should be treated like royalty. They shouldn't have to work another day in their life, especially if they were wounded. They shouldn't have to work another day in their life. They shouldn't be worried about where their next meal is coming from. They shouldn't be worried about where they're going to live or what kind of car they're going to drive. The central bank should be breaking them off. And they should get broke off double, triple if they lost a limb or an eye or suffer any physical damage. They should be broke off even double and triple. And of course, those that pay the ultimate price and lose their life, their family should be taken care of for life. The spouse and children should be taken care of for life. Children shouldn't worry about what university they're going to go to, paid for. You want to go to medical school, law school, paid for. Oh, and by the way, when you come out, no debt, no bills, no nothing. because you went overseas, you picked up a firearm, and you was busting your gun for your country, for Uncle Sam, for the AKA central banks. All right, so you should be broke the heck off. You should not have to worry about nothing. But the way they treat their vets should tell you everything you need to know about the way that this country has gone and where this country is headed, and it will make the founding fathers turn in their graves from utter disgust. They're probably throwing up in their graves right now from utter disgust, saying this is not what we intended when we founded this nation. This is not what we had in mind. We wanted everyone to be free, not slaves of the central bank. Our founding fathers fought against the central bank for a reason. They avoided the tyranny for a reason. All right? America hates its own citizens. That's why they treat them the way they do, folks. We are the most incarcerated nation on the planet. The U.S. has more incarcerated people than every other country combined. How is that the land of the free? How? When all of your people are locked the heck up. Okay? Oh, and by the way, if you don't understand this, all you have to do is talk to someone who's gone through it. Oh, once you've paid your debt to society, when you come out, you have a scarlet letter. So everyone will know that not only did you pay your debt to society, but you're now a perpetual pariah and you are an untouchable. No one's going to want to hire you. No one's going to want to rent to you an apartment. No one's going to want to be within 10 feet of you. So good luck getting a job. It's going to follow you for the rest of your life. You don't just pay, quote unquote, your debt to society by doing time. Oh, no, that debt you pay is for the rest of your natural life. Oh, and you think, well, you know what? I'll just go and I'll, on a job application, I'll just say out loud, I'll say I was never incarcerated. No problem. I'm going to be all right. Yeah, but if they pull your credit report, what you don't know, young man, young woman, is that on your credit report, all right, most of them anyway, they pull what is analogous to a full mortgage report. All right. So what they do is they pull from all three credit bureaus, not just the one, not just your Equifax, okay? They pull from all three bureaus, and what's going to happen is at the bottom of the page it is going to list your felonies. If you have any felony convictions, it lists it on the report. Now, I would not have known this if I did not work in the field of finance. I learned it because when I first pulled my way, and now the proper name for it is called a tri-merge report. A tri-merge report is where they merge the information from your Equifax and from your Experian and whatever the other one is, I can't remember. But that tri-merge report, not only does it show if you are a convicted felon or not, but guess what it shows? It shows that if you owe child support and if you owe back child support, it shows that on there too. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, and it also shows foreclosures on there. It also shows if you were ever evicted from a rental situation. It also shows judgments that were filed against you, financial judgments, and it shows liens like tax liens too. This is all on your tri-merge credit report. All right? This is on your tri-merge credit report. Now, of course, supposedly by law, certain things can stay on there up to 11 years, and then they're supposed to drop off. But that's not what happens, ladies and gentlemen. No. What happens is they allow for those things to be what is called renewed. So judgments can be renewed. Oh, yeah. And they don't go nowhere. All right. Oh, and by the way, if you said, well, I'm just going to go ahead and file bankruptcy, get a fresh start, not, not going to happen. You can't include student loans and tax liens in your um bankruptcy. So if you thought you was going to file Chapter 7 and just make it all go away, no. That back child support ain't going nowhere. Tax liens ain't going nowhere. Sorry. That's how it works, folks. The system is designed against you. All right? If you run afoul of the law, even unintentionally, the whole system can come down on you in full force, and it never goes away. It stays with you forever. 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 All right? All that stuff shows up. Okay? You have a scarlet letter forever. But I paid my debt to society. Yep. Still can't vote. Who cares? That's how they do you. That's how they do you. And that's Uncle Sam saying, thanks a lot for fighting for your central bank. For your country. We appreciate you. All right. Now, it used to be that, if there were any discrepancies in your credit report, you could write to the bureaus and you could fight those things. And there was a point in time where they would be deleted off. And then some people got hip to the inner workings and how things work, and they hung up a shingle and started a business called I Can Clean Up Your Credit Report. And for a little while, it worked. A lot of people made millions of dollars starting those businesses and doing that for people. But then the government fought back. Now, the government is a slow elephant. It takes a long time for the elephant to move and turn over, okay? But once the elephant turns over, that's it. You're not getting them back. So the elephant turned over and realized, hey, the American people are getting slick. They've learned our process. Oh, no, they're penetrating the bureaucracy. What are we going to do? And I'm going to tell you what they did. They said, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is the easy way to fix this. What are we going to do? How are we going to fix it? Anyone who fights it now, automatically you're going to send them a letter. All right, and this is going to be a pre-written letter where the computer will automatically fill in the blank. So it's what is called a form letter. They send you a form letter saying we researched it and we find that the information is correct. So they shut you down. You're no longer able to get those things removed like that. It don't work like that no more. They shut you down. All right? That loophole has been closed. The anomaly has been corrected. They're not letting you escape, people. They don't want you to go nowhere. They don't want you to do better. So the only way a convicted felon can really prosper now is if they go into business for themselves, because no one's going to want to hire them. And yes, there are many testimonies of convicted felons who did time, came home, and couldn't get a job, and they went into business for themselves, and now they're multimillionaires. There are several testimonies like that, not just one or two. There are many testimonies like that. I say all that to say, folks, that your government doesn't love you. Your government sees you as either an asset or a liability. All right? That's what you are to your government, an asset or a liability. You're an asset if you are a consistent tax base for them. You're an asset if you are a sheep and you're willing to believe whatever narrative they set before you without question. All right? You can't question whatever they put before you. That's a no-no. All right? That will make you a liability. You got to drink the Kool-Aid. You got to act like a programmed machine, and you will become an asset. They will open up the heavens for you and pour out blessings you have not room enough to receive if you play ball, if you sell your soul. Then they will bless you and you will be okay. If you just do everything they tell you to do and don't ask any questions. All right. So you would believe anyway. That's what they tell you. But then you realize that too is an untruth and it couldn't be farthest from the truth. They have no intentions on blessing you. Again, they want to take from you whatever they can take from you, and that's it. Look at what they've done for centuries. Look at what they have done. What have they accomplished? They have done the opposite of everything they've ever said. Whenever they say they're going to do something, they do the opposite of it. Case in point, it made everybody feel good. They said, we're going to send you out stimulus checks. Everybody's going to get this check. And then once you got down to the fine print, you realized that the majority of people are not going to get a check, and they're never going to get a check. It's just something to make everyone pacified so that they stop asking the hard questions. Okay? In case you didn't know it, people, the U.S. economy has all but imploded. In case you didn't realize it, in case you didn't know it, the U.S. is in a lot of trouble right now. And the only way that it's going to be able to stave off total implosion, total destruction, is they're going to have to go to war. That's the only way that the U.S. became a superpower. It's by its muscle. It's by its military. It's by its weaponry. Okay? As long as it can be the bully on the block, it can make the rules. It's war, folks. That's our next step, man. Sorry to have to say that. Sorry to have to break that to you, but it's not looking good. It's not looking good. It's a war for natural resources, people. And don't think that other countries are just going to take it laying down. They're ready to go to war for that. See, they want to make you think that the world is awash in oil and that there's nowhere else to put stuff and blah, blah, blah. But see, there's a big war going on. All right, Brent oil. All right, what is behind Brent oil and what's behind WTI? WTI is the US of A. Brent is the former USSR, Russia. Yep. Now let's do a little exercise. When I say Russia, you say China, Russia, China, Russia, China. Yep, they're together. They have agreed that they will do what they have to do and join forces to defeat the USSA. That's why I say USSA, because that's where we've gone. We're nationalizing all of the corporations in the country. That's what we're doing. I see you say, what about Venezuela? They have no say in this. Venezuela hasn't been its own country in a long time. All right. Venezuela is not a superpower. They should be. Venezuela, Argentina, man, that South American continent has so much natural resources and oil and rare earth metals and minerals. It should be a superpower, but it ain't. No, it is a puppet. It is a marionette whose strings are pulled by the US of A. Make no mistake about that. All right. Nathan, you got it right. Russia, China, and Iran and Syria versus the US and NATO. You got that right. You nailed it right on, my man. You nailed it. You nailed it. That's pretty much it, you guys. That's what it's about. Now, people laughed at me a while back when I said, you know what, with Brexit happening, wouldn't it be funny if Russia and China move in to take their place? Everybody said I was mad. I was the Mad Hatter. I didn't know what I was talking about. Well, it kind of is going that way, isn't it? It's kind of going that way. Yeah. Yep. 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 The UK is not the superpower it once was. All right. It's bowing out gracefully with the Brexit. All right. Let's be honest. Can the UK by itself wage war against China or Russia and be successful? No way, Jose. They wouldn't stand a chance. Seriously. Can't. It's all about the mega superpowers. We are entering into a time and space, folks, that is downright scary and frightening. It's something I don't want to ever have to see, more or less even talk about. But we have to discuss these possibilities and realities because it's staring us in the face, folks. This is getting ugly, man. I don't know if people are really paying attention. Remember what I said to you guys, too, man. You got to look at not just what is being said on TV, but you got to look at what is not being said. You got to really pay attention, not just to their speech, but the body language. You got to look at the people they bring out, and what they're saying, what they're not saying, how they're saying what they're saying, how they're saying what they're not saying. You got to look at all of that. You got to do the knowledge to all that stuff. All right, that's how they don't pull the wool over your eyes. It's when we turn the blind eye that they start pulling the wool over our eyes. And that's how you get duped and tricked, because they play the sleight of hand on you. They'll say, yes, we're going to give money to the people to stimulate the economy. But how are you going to stimulate the economy when they won't let you go outside? In order to stimulate the economy, it requires you to leave the house. It requires you to go outside. You can only do but so much online. You cannot do all of your shopping online. Some things you cannot do online, and it's going to require you to physically get up and leave your house. All right, so you're limiting it if you think people are just going to be cooped up in the house and never go outside. That's not going to happen. That is not the case. That is unrealistic. All right, but that's kind of what they're getting people ready for. Life inside the house, never leaving the house. You know what I'm saying? All right, so I just want to stress that for y'all, okay? All right, this is the world we're in right now. All right, so I want to just stress to you not to drink the Kool-Aid. All right, think about things critically. Think things through. Ask questions and keep asking questions until you get answers. Don't allow yourself to be pacified by fake answers to questions. They have a way of supposedly talking and answering your question without talking and answering your question. Don't let them get away with that. Make them really answer the questions. But you know what? That's the other thing that's really sad, is that we no longer have a marketplace of ideas. You're not allowed to ask questions. You're not allowed to practice critical thinking. You're not allowed to do any of that, because if you do, then you're doing it under pain of being, labeled a cynic, labeled a conspiracy theorist, labeled a mad person, insane. All right, you don't know what you're talking about. You're an idiot. And then that's when they start attacking your person and your character, because they really can't attack the message. So they start doing the ad hominem attacks. All right. And they start being dismissive of everything that you're saying without dealing with anything you're saying. That's what they do. They marginalize you, crack jokes, and things of that nature, and act dismissive, and then get you to agree with them assassinating your character. It's really crazy. I think what we need to do is we really need to, if we're gonna make this work, we have to, there's some kind of way we have to like shut down the mainstream media, because the mainstream media is a tool of the deep state. They're a tool of the shadow government. They're a tool of the powers that be. They're tools of the elite. We no longer really have independent media like we once did a long, 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 long time ago. All right. That doesn't exist anymore. There is no freedom of the press. The press works for the government because they know that if they don't toe the line, they won't be allowed access to the White House, and so they won't be getting any quote unquote government news, and they'll be shut out altogether. That's why they toe the line. That's why they do what they do and act the way they act for that reason. And I think it's disgusting. The government has co-opted everything, including the media, because that's its tool of propaganda. That's how they get everybody, jacked up. And I think it's terrible. So anyway, I've yapped long enough on that. Um, let's take a look at a couple of things real quick. I do not have access to the algo charts because I'm still running the algo reports. I just posted in the trading room. We got the equities up now. The last report is still processing, and that's the USA equities. All right, we got the Nordic up, we got the ASX up, and we got the TSX up. Those have now been posted. The last report is the equity report for the USA. All right, because that one is the biggest report. Takes a little bit longer at times to run, so that's still running. When that's done, I'll post that too. All right, for now, let's take a look at a few charts. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to look at a couple of charts. Like I said, I don't have access to the algo charts right now because the reports are running. All right, pay attention here at your the big top of the screen here, the big chart. All right, this is right now we're looking at the crude oil futures chart. We're going to do that first. All right, so if you take a look here, you'll see that on this daily chart, we have this massive pointer right here. All right, massive pointer, massive pointer. You know what that means. Even if we do start to retrace back up, we're coming back down here and we're going to take this out. Crude oil prices are going to head lower, folks. I'm sorry. This is what this is looking like. It's looking whack. Okay? This is not a good thing for you crude bulls. There's nothing bullish on this report. Your momentum is waning. It is pointing straight down, 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 down we go. All right, so crude oil, bye-bye. Bear market, nothing you can do about it. All right, looking at the daily chart of the Dow, though, all right, you can see here, for the most part, you're still in that well-defined defined downtrend. All right, the momentum has been bouncing around. It's been going up. All right, your momentum's going up, but it's still bearish. It looked like we were going to turn the corner up here, but then the momentum kicked back in on the downside. So now we're in the process of falling. And right now we are threatening to drop below 22,000. Right now, the initial target is back here testing the low of 18,000. I don't think the low is 18,000. I think it's going to be a lot lower. I think we could drop sub 10,000 with the way things are going. All right. The worse the economy gets, the worse the Dow is going to get. I think right now the Dow and the economy have aligned themselves together. We haven't seen this in my lifetime, where the stock market was a pure reflection of the economy. Right now, the stock market is a mirror image of the economy for once. I don't know how long this is going to work. All right. All right. Question: what ticker do you use for crude oil? No, I don't use the CL. I use QM. I am a micro E-mini contract lover. I love micro mini contracts of all kinds. I like the mini corns, the mini soybeans, the mini Dow, the mini Russell. I like mini contracts. I just love minis. It's just a thing. I just like them. What can I say? But yeah, the Dow is looking like sub 10,000, my man. Absolutely. All right. Take it, but it's all the same, man. Mini contracts, big contracts, it's the same contract, it's the same price, it's the same chart. It's the same chart and the same price, just a different amount of leverage involved. That's it. All right. So there's no disparage between the charts. This right here is the big oil contract. It is identical to the mini contract. There's no difference. Okay. Just so you know. All right. Let's take a look here at food real quick. All right. Look at your soybeans. All right. Look at the soybeans. As you can see here, we hit a low of 791 way back yonder. Right. This was 791. This was hit back in May 13th of 2019. And we're kind of back here now, right? All right, so just the other day we hit 808 and a quarter. This right here is a pointer. I don't know if you can see it. This is a pointer back here. And here we are right now. We just made another pointer in the prior day, and we're headed back here now. I think prices are coming back down here to test the pointer. This right here is a perfect chart. It is a perfect real-time example of the power of the pointer, you guys. If you never believed me before, believe me now. This was a pointer, a bearish pointer done on May of 2019. We're now in April of 2020. We just fashioned this pointer here, which is about to test this one here. Prices always come back to these pointers, you folks. Bearish pointers, bullish pointers, it doesn't matter. Official pointers always get tested. Do you see that? All right. This is where we're going. That's why crude oil is definitely heading lower. And this is a soybean chart, but I'm using this example, the pointers, to show you that oil is not done. The low is not done in the oil. Neither is the low done in the soybeans, which means we can see dollar strength for the foreseeable near future. All right. That's why I had to show you that. All right. Let's see here. I think this is right. Sometimes I can't. But yeah. All right. There you go. Okay. Here is your British pound. And this is using our futures composite index. As you can see here, the momentum is starting to turn down just like the Dow. As a matter of fact, this chart is extremely similar to the Dow futures chart. You see how the momentum got up here? You thought you were going to trend change, and the market said psych. And now your momentum's turning back down again. Yeah. This is what we're looking like, folks. All right. Gaps always get filled. Bearish and bullish pointers always get tested. Always, 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 always. Here's your British pound, your pound sterling. Look at it. All right. This is where we are. Will we get one more test of the trend line resistance before we fall down, or is it about to fall off the cliff right now? I believe that the British pound is about to get pounded and fall over the cliff right now. As long as that dollar stays bullish, you can pretty much count on it, people. All right, here is your Aussie. All right, here's your Aussie. All right, Aussie, same story. Right now, the pound sterling and the Aussie are looking the same. They're moving in the same pattern right now, as they should. All right, as they should, because they have that U.S. dollar counterpart at the end. So they should be moving the same right now. If you're trading the Aussie, you're pretty much trading the pound sterling too, because they're moving in the same. It's the same chart pattern. Y'all see that? Okay. Let's see what else. What else I want to look at? Oh, I know. Shoot, this is important. Bitcoin futures composite index looks just like the Aussie. It looks just like the British pound, as it should. Do you know why this Bitcoin Composite Futures Index chart looks like the Aussie and looks like the British pound, the pound sterling chart? Does anyone know why they look the same? Class, does anyone want to raise their hand and answer the question? The obvious question? I'll tell you why. Because the Bitcoin is now being recognized as a direct competitor to the US dollar. Why do you think the Bitcoin Futures Composite Index has been given the same respect as the pound sterling or the Australian dollar? You know how it has been given it? Because it has the same suffix as your forex. What is that? It's B to the T to the C / USD. What is the Aussie, the Australian? The AUD / USD, direct competitor. What is the pound sterling? GBP / USD. What is the Canadian? CAD/U. It's right here, folks. This is it. Are you watching? Are you watching? Are you watching? Are you watching? Bitcoin is a direct competitor, a direct threat to the US dollar. And your Bitcoin Futures Composite Index is paying homage and respect to that. That's why the chart is identical to the Australian dollar and the pound sterling. If you've seen one, you've seen them all. Look at this. They're all the same chart. It's all the same chart. Fork or no fork, it's the same chart. Bitcoin Futures Composite Index, same chart, identical as the Australian dollar or the pound sterling. Do you need to see it again? All right, this is the Bitcoin chart. See the price action. We're going to do it real quick. Here is the Dow Futures chart. Same chart. Here is the Australian dollar, okay? Australian dollar. Here we go. Same chart. Same chart. Identical to the Bitcoin and the Dow. Here is your pound sterling. Are you ready? Same price action. Same chart. Same chart. Same chart. All right. Algos are algos are algos. You may not understand them, you may not even like them, but you gotta respect them. Gotta deal with them, all right? All right, this is what's up, folks. You seen one chart, you seen them all. They're moving in the same price pattern because the algos move and pour money into and out of certain financial products at approximately the same time. Regardless of company, if they're using the same algorithmic system, doesn't matter the name of the hedge fund they're going to buy, their algos are going to buy and sell the same securities at the same time. And guess what? The Fed is also doing the same thing. This is why you need the algos. This is why you need the PulseWave price trigger system, folks, because it knows these things and it's here to teach you and show you that it knows these things. That's why we've been cooking. We've been cooking in futures. We've been cooking in forex. We've been cooking in the crypto. We've been cooking in the equities. Doesn't matter what you trade, as long as you're using the PulseWave price triggers to do it, you're going to be on the right side. All right. That's why I stay in the lab, y'all. I stay in the lab because I got to make sure that these reports is on point and putting y'all in a position to make that money. Now, some big moves are about to come, you guys. All right. We done with the charts for now. Big moves are on the horizon. I don't know how to explain it to you any other way than that. Big moves are on the horizon. I'll say it one last time. big moves are on the horizon. You're going to want to be on the right side of the market because some of these are going to be moving so fast, I might not have a time. By the time I finish typing it in the room, the market had already moved. That's why you got to be up on the reports. You got to be up on the reports. You got to be up on the reports. You're going to have to be up on the reports. Be up on the reports. Okay? Be up on the reports. Now, you can't trade everything, and you sure enough can't watch everything. It's impossible. So this is what I'm going to do. I've been trying to determine and narrow my own focus to see what it is I want to do and how I want to move, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to come up with a list of what I'm going to be operating in. And then if you two would like to operate in said thing with me, then so be it, okay? I can hook you up too. Let me see one thing. Let me just try something. Give me one quick second. I just had a brainstorm. Okay, so that's not there. That's what I thought. All right, so let's do. All right. What I'm doing is I'm watching certain things. I'm watching how these algos have been moving, and I'm gonna come up with a little report of what I'm watching and what I'm gonna be trading in and out of. It's about that time I'm gonna really start operating in some of these futures, and I'll be letting you know what I'm gonna be focusing on. Just let me finish getting my stuff together, and I'll let you know what's up. Oil is disappointing me right now. I'm really upset. I'm not trading no back months and no futures contract. I'm not built like that. That's not how I get down. That's not how I operate. I'm not putting no money in no thin market. All right, they tell me, oh, you can trade July and August. No, you trade it. I looked at the open interest. It was 500. 500. Not 500,000, not 500 million, 500. I'm not going in there with 500. I'm sorry. Liquidity would be horrendous. Oh, you could get out. Don't get me wrong. It's a futures contract. You'll be able to get out of the market all right, but nowhere near your price. You're talking about slippage. Goodness. You'll be slipped to death. You don't want that. You may get in there, right? You buy crude oil at, let's say, $12, right? You're like, okay, this thing's about to get up to at least 15. I can get out there and take my profit. You take a look at the spread, man. You getting out at 9. You bought at 12, thinking you're gonna get out at 15, but the spread on there, what they asking is catastrophic for you. You know, don't get played. Don't even go in there and play like that. Wait till things come back around and into realignment. Then you can start trading what you need to. Don't be that pressed. Now, for me, I still want to operate in oil. All right. So here's what I'm looking at. Since they've already successfully reverse the UCO. UCO is an option for me. Because they also have already did what they need to do with OIH. OIH is an option for me. I haven't just said forget those. XLE is also still an opportunity. And believe it or not, I've been looking at Exxon, ticker XOM. I've been looking at Exxon. So we have alternatives to get into this oil space if need be. But I'm going to weigh my options. There's another one that I have not talked about. I have not talked about it, but it will be in Dex's watch list. I'm going to put it together. I will put it in the trading room at some point tomorrow. I will put it up. And it is something that I found. I did some research. I read a report on it. And it looks like this is going to be the place to be. I'll let you know what that secret is. It's a secret oil play. All right, directly connected to the crude oil futures that won't get you twisted up with the contract rollovers and backwardation and contango. All right, so if you want to know what that is, you're going to have to come to PulseWaveTrading.com and you're going to have to go ahead and get yourself situated. so that you can be on point with me and you can take a look at that, okay, and have access to that. All right, so get yourself together and come on over here, and we're gonna make it do what it do. For you forex traders out there, you've already heard me say that if you're a forex trader and you still would like to be able to participate in forex, you live in the United States and you can't trade the CFDs like you can overseas. You can literally trade crude oil, CFD, and your forex broker with your forex broker overseas. You can't do that in the US. Remember what I showed you? You do have an ability to trade crude oil in your forex. All right. So if you come and you open up a 6-pack with us, you get that $69 joint with us where you can trade forex and crypto with us. I'll hook you up and I'll show you how to do that. I'll show you how you can benefit without operating in that crude oil market. And that's what I'm going to be looking to do too. It's going to be in the DEX's watch list as well. And this watch list is what I will be literally trading in and out of on a daily basis, and I will be updating you. So you won't have to worry about, oh, Dex, what are you doing? What are you looking at today? My report is going to let you know what I'm looking at. It's never going to change. I trade what I trade. All right, that's how I move. So I'm gonna let you see it. It probably only gonna be about maybe 5 things in there, and this is what I'm gonna be operating in for the foreseeable future. So if you want to play around with me, you'll be able to. All right, they'll have my entry prices, my stops, all that good stuff. All right, I'm out of here, man. So remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. That means do not turn profitable trades into losing trades, okay? And I got you. All right, I got you. All right, Rick, I got you, man. You want to know more about that? Send me a reminder in the chat in the chat room, okay? You guys that want to know about what I just talked about with the crude forex play, I'll hook you up. All right, but you're gonna have to remind me because I got so much going on and I do tend to forget. So just send me a line in the trade room. Matter of fact, you can put it in the main chat, and I will do it. Just so you know, I do read all of the chat. When I get up in the morning, when I'm preparing for the pre-market post scan, I do read all the chat from the night before because I know we got our brethren overseas, and you know my nighttime is their morning time, and you guys in there talking and stuff. I do look and I do read. So you say, I hope Dex sees this. I will. You don't always have to send me a personal DM for me to see and to get at you. Okay, I got your back. All right, just remind me though, because I will forget. All right, so love you guys, man. Be encouraged, and I'll see y'all in the morning for pre-market post scan. All right, and the rest of you, I'll see you in the trading room, in the chain room. I'm out. Peace.